Well, James Ranstead's the president of the New Zealand Union for Students Association. He's with me in the Wellington studio. Morena.
Morena, Susie.
So, are you hearing stories of students having to get in early, and more stories like the one there you heard from Harry echoing just how hard this is becoming?
Yeah, most definitely. That story of Harry's is becoming somewhat common. I mean, it's becoming a lot more common now to see certain student flats, say over 24 hours or 48 hours, to have 50, 60, 70 different pieces of interest from separate groups.
And the cost going up too?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
What sort of hikes in cost have people been dealing with?
It really varies, and I think a lot of it varies on the landlord as well. Some flats are staying the same, others are going up, say $10, $20, $30, $40. Yep. Okay,
so it's a lot of money, and I guess wipes out any increase essentially that you got from the government earlier. Well, not earlier this year, last year I suppose it is now.
Yeah, that's right. And when I say the increase 10, 20, 30, 40, that's per flatmate, you know. So that's, if it's a house of five, that's say a couple of $100, yeah.
Well, this is the thing, I suppose, because one advantage in a way of students flatting is that it's more than just the kind of classic family income perhaps that is looking to rent some of these larger houses. So can you sort of see that perhaps that's a slightly better position in some way for students to be in?
Yeah, somewhat. I guess to bring you to the example though, I mean, looking at a student allowance, for example, the maximum one student can get on a student allowance is $230 per week, and just looking at that number there, that's when the parents are on the lowest threshold income. So when we're looking at student rents that are, say, on average $210 in Wellington, that doesn't leave a lot for. Obviously, you've got the course fees on top of that, but also living costs on top of that as well.
The housing that's on the market, is it better quality than it used to be, or are students paying a lot of money for some pretty scrappy flats?
I'd say there'd be growing, I guess, diversity in housing types. I think reading over articles myself, there's been definitely an increase in nicer houses. That's where the developers are making a lot of money. Unfortunate reality is there's a lot of dingy student flats still out there in the likes of Te Aro Valley, Newtown, Brooklyn and so forth. And what we're really seeing is a lot of houses that, I mean, using the example of Harry's, for example, when there are so much pressure, students don't have a choice, right? So they're taking up these flats. Then often they don't, have great insulation, are often damp, and so forth.
Okay, so the situation, I guess, from the landlord's perspective, if we can try and look at it from that one, they obviously want to have no time between renters, but I guess students quite a lot of the time will only want to rent for the academic year, which isn't the full calendar year. Yeah,
that's often right. Yeah. But I think what we're seeing now with so much pressure is that if a student and a group of students are wanting to flat for the next few years to finish off their degree or something, they'll be pretty keen on taking that up for a longer time.
Is there anything the association can do to help?
The New Zealand Students Association. So we're the lobbying group. So we work quite closely with the other students associations of Wellington, but also throughout the country. And what I'd suggest to any students out there that are unfortunately might have scared throughout this report is that I definitely recommend you get in touch with your students association, be that in Wellington or anywhere around the country. They can probably help you out with some handy hints on finding houses, but they also have the likes of hardship funds that'll really be able to help you out during these hard times.
I appreciate your time. Thanks for coming in as well. Speaking there with James Ranstead, president of the New Zealand Union of Students Associations. It's 8:26. Midsummer in Central.